Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Spotlight Over the City. We got our next guest. We got us another +1 in the building. So I like to call this young man unsung hero type of person.
I like that.
Something that people don't know. A lot of people don't know how he rocking. They know him from one thing, but that's kind of where it stops. So today we're going to get into it. You want to introduce Wifey? Or?
Of course. I love, again, Black excellence, and I feel that this young man exudes Black excellence for many reasons, right? So I'm very honored and happy to call him Spotlight Family, and I want you all to put your hands together and welcome to the show, entrepreneur, consultant, and a whole bunch of other stuff.
A whole bunch of things
yeah,
y'all don't know.
Jermaine Smith is in the building, y'all. Woo!
Well, first and foremost, we did not say C to the EO of Henry's Soul Food Cafe.
Is that
right?
We'll let Jermaine talk about all of that.
So that's the first thing we want to speak on. That's a big deal because it's a staple in the city.
Yes,
everybody who loves soul food know where you are. I've visited you many a time. So congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being a part of Spotlight.
Yes.
So we'll get right into it, Jermaine. How did you come about Henry's Soul Food Cafe? How did that?
It started. My dad started it in 1968. So I grew up in the business, and then I didn't want to be in the restaurant business at all.
At all?
Not at all, because I saw what he went through. You know what I mean?
Long
hours, a lot of work. Dealing with employees and all that junk. And so I went to college. I went to Howard University. I was
HU.
Yeah. I was a marketing major there, and I was doing well. I had my first company when I was 18. Smith Communications, which is still in existence to the day.
You started early.
Absolutely, because I knew I never wanted to work for anyone. So I've never had a job.
So you knew that at 18, you knew?
At 18. So I was in high school. I went to H.D. Woodson, and I had I went to H.D. Woodson, and I had how they give you a job when you you get a half-a-day schedule. But in order to have a half-a-day schedule, you got to go to work.
That's right.
So they knew that my dad owned a restaurant, so they was like, nah, you're going to be getting out of here getting in trouble. So they sent me on an interview. First interview I go on is somebody that my dad knows. So the lady, so she didn't even hire me, right? So the next job, I got a job at a law firm. Go to the law firm. I get the job. And I'm in this law firm working, and I'm realizing what goes on in corporate America. And I'm seeing how we get treated, right? So the lady that was the office manager there, they fired her, told her they didn't need her position. 2 weeks later, the secretary of one of the other lawyers there was now the office manager, and she didn't look like us. And so at that point, I said, I never want to work for anybody ever. So I quit that job like 2 weeks. I'd been there like 6 months. I quit it like 2 weeks later, and I never had a job again. Then I started Smith Communications. That put me through college. And then in 97, before I graduated from Howard in 99, but in 97, I got bored because I was making money, and I was successful to my degree. I was successful, and I just was riding home. I had my girlfriend in the car at the time, and I said, "I'm gonna open that joint right there. That's gonna be a restaurant." And like 3 months later, we were open, and it was the best.
Like that.
It was the best thing I ever did. It changed my life. It changed my life.
Really?
So mind you, now you say you wasn't interested in
not at all. But I got bored. So at that time, I had a secretary, I had an office, I was going to school. I was never the guy that hung out. So I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't hang with a lot of people. I was always to myself. But every day I'm waking up, I'm doing business from my bed. I'm like making phone calls, calling my secretary, hey, you got this done, you got that done. My checks are coming in, I'm good. And so now I'm kind of bored. At the time, I was also managing a comedian at the time. I was hanging with the heavyweight champion of the world, Riddick Bowe, at the time. I was also doing some work for them. And so at the time, I'm like 22 years old, and I'm good. Wow. And I said, okay, I'm gonna open a restaurant. And from the day I opened the restaurant, I realized how much knowledge I had about the restaurant business that was never taught to me. It was just what I was supposed to be doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it made you feel comfortable doing it and taking over?
I was very comfortable.
Yeah.
And I worked every day, like for the first 4 years from 97 till 2000. I never took a day off.
Wow.
I worked. I would go to Howard. I would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would go and get the supplies for the restaurant. Get the restaurant open. My first class would be a 9:40 class. I would stay in school all day from 9:40 to 3:30. I would get out of school at 3:30, get to my restaurant at 4 o'clock, close the restaurant up that night, start it all over the next day.
Wow.
So do you hear the work ethic, right? The work ethic.
It's not
so
an
fast
overnight
forward, how
success.
many years we talking?
It's actually been 25 years this month.
Wow,
20.
really?
Hey, y'all put
Yeah,
that
25 years this month.
25 years. Henry Soul Food
Phenomenal.
Cafe. And so this is where most of the knowledge of you stops.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
When I say eighth ranked, what does that remind you of?
I'm the eighth top soul food chef in the country.
I know that's right.
You can't just
Yeah.
breeze past this type of information. I don't know that you. I bet you don't know nobody ranked higher than that.
That's right.
Not
Y'all
that you
know
personally
somebody?
can touch. You can't call them. And so what I'm telling you is that's a big deal, right? That's a huge deal in itself. So to get a little bit more understanding of who Jermaine really is outside of the food sector, what's next for Jermaine? What else is you have your hands in? So you mentioned, so I'm gonna help you a little bit. I'm gonna piggyback. We were talking off camera about something. We were supposed to sit down and we was gonna have a discussion. And you said, "Well, I can't do that. We're canceling a certain situation that you had because you had to go overseas."
Right.
What came out of that?
So I just came off a tour with Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. I managed comedian Earthquake. And
One time for Quake.
yeah, absolutely. So we did a tour over there in London, the whole UK. It was absolutely wonderful, and so it was good. It was good.
Wow.
So these are some of the people that you have the privy to work with that a lot of people would just die to be in the room with.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
So how did you get involved with the entertainment? Because we also know that you're a producer of a lot of films. We won't get into that, but you're like the financier behind a lot of the things that we see on the big screen today. How did you get from the food sector to the entertainment sector?
The food opened up every door that I ever had. So I would, when I couldn't get in the door, just from, if I had a pie in my hand, the sweet potato pie, that's what I'm known for. If I had a pie, I was in the house.
I know that's right.
They let me in. And so once I got in, I knew how to conduct myself. I knew how to, the difference, like I'll tell people all the time, there are several people that can cook better than me. That's going to happen, like, because cooking is subjective, right? The difference is that I know how to go in the boardroom. I know how to sit at the table. I know how to talk the talk. I know how to be humble and not talk about myself. Like for me, people, they don't see this side because I'm not the one in the room that's saying everything that I'm doing.
Right.
And so, to add to that, I do own a production company. We've produced several films. You've seen Earthquake's Legendary on Netflix that I co-produced with Dave Chappelle.
Dope.
You've seen a lot of my movies, from Secrets to Available Wife to Holiday Heartbreak to I can't remember. I can't remember all of them, but
all of them are dope. And
Yes.
yeah, shout out to Megaminds and everybody
Yes.
else.
Megamind
involved.
Media, yes.
You guys are doing some dope things. Been doing it for a while. So when we see you and you represent Henry Soul Food Cafe, the reason I stamp this is because a lot of people don't see the diversity in your portfolio. They just know you as Henry Soul Food Cafe.
Yeah,
That's just where it started.
Yeah, if you're riding down Suitland Parkway, you look over to your left. That's one of my first housing developments that I did. Stanton View Development. My partner, along with Don, 41 homes over there. I'm now also doing a project in Baltimore. We have a $70 million project that we're doing, partnering with Caesar's Palace. There's going to be a new hotel, amphitheater, production area that goes right with the Horseshoe Casino.
Dope.
If you're familiar with the Beacon Hotel in Miami,
Yes.
that's a project we just took on. So the Beacon Hotel is being revamped. There's also a new city center going on in North Miami. We're first up for that. I also own a mental health facility in Cleveland, Ohio, in which I'm in strong talks right now to do a larger health facility, mental health facility, along with Steve Harvey, there. We also have an investment fund, a real estate investment fund, where we're trying to bridge the gap with entertainers as well as athletes. A lot of athletes end up broke.
Yes.
We don't want to see them end up broke anymore.
Okay.
We want to put these guys in these deals that they're using their money for anyway, so that when they retire, they can get the same checks that they were getting while they were working.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
that real estate fund has a lot of people. We have Xavier Rose, just recently signed with the Buffalo Bills. He was with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
We have a new NFT company called Tame, which my son runs that, because I don't know anything about NFTs, but
He does.
my son runs that, and he has the likeness of them. We just signed Odell Beckham.
Yes.
We're doing a lot of good things. A lot of good
heart
things.
is
I
full.
think.
So this is the thing. So this is the most humble guy that I've ever met, right? When I met him, it was so humbling because I didn't have a clue who I was talking to. So when I found out some of the smidget of things that he was involved in, I was in love with the humility, right? I like a humble guy. He wasn't braggadocious. He never talked about what he had going on. He just made phone calls and made things happen on the spot. And so congratulations to you,
Thank you so
for the
much.
humility, just the good stock that you were raised from. The things that you represent for our city is beautiful, and just the wanting to see us do better. And
Absolutely,
I know that
absolutely.
for you. I know that that's who you are.
Absolutely. And just, my hat off to you. This is a beautiful studio.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I tell people, all you have is your word. You keep your word. So when you ask me to come, I didn't ask where it was or when is it. Looked at my schedule. I'll be there.
And showed up
And showed up.
did what he had to do. Now this
With his
guy's
pretty
fresh
wife.
off the plane from overseas doing his thing, and he's doing some amazing things, by the way. And I think that you should be applauded for that. You are doing some really amazing things for
Thank you
us
so much.
in the community, not just our community in DMV. A lot of people put on for the city. You put on for the world.
Thank you so
The whole
much.
world.
Thank you so much.
Watching. So thank you
Extremely
for that.
proud.
Where can they follow? Tap into you for whatever you got going on next.
Of course, with the restaurant, you can go to Henry Soul Cafe and come and enjoy a wonderful meal, cooked fresh every day. But you can find me at Jermaine Smith. You can find me at Jay the Soul Chef on social media via IG. And just, come in and enjoy. And this is what I'll tell people. You're spending money with good ground.
Yes.
Like, your money does not go to Henry Soul Cafe and stop there. Your money is, I can show you what I do.
Yeah.
If you look it up, you'll see what I do. We feed probably 100 to 150 people for free every day.
Every day.
Not something like every day, but we don't talk about that because it's not to be talked about. You just do the work. So, your money is going in great places. There are football teams that we sponsor. There are kids that we sponsor. There's a lot of stuff that we do that you should put a demand on the other local businesses that you support to do.
So that's why I respect this young man. This is something you don't see this much, the humility and the whole nine. So I'm going to end it with just saying congratulations on your future projects. I know they're going to be amazing.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to being a part of the blessings that you are receiving because you are a very blessed
Absolutely.
individual. And I thank God for you. Let's give it up one more
Y'all,
time.
yes! Black excellence in the
Black
building!
excellence, baby. You
Yes, I'm very honored to have you as part of our Spotlight family, so thank
Well,
you.
wait a minute. Speaking
Any-
of black excellence, my homeboy Dirk done snuck in the building
He
from
snuck
Vibe Band.
in.
And
hour
Ro in
and
the
a-
building.
hour and a half
He in the
late.
building. He late, but he in the building. So you got to see it.
Those are some great people back there. You have
Amazing
some great
people.
people in the audience. Dirk actually was the one that put us together.
Yes.
Because Dirk will go and tell my business a lot.
Here, tell it
For
all.
real. But it's cool because there are a lot of people that I may not be able to reach or to come in contact with. So Dirk's a great person. Dirk, anytime I've ever called on Dirk to do anything, he's always been there. I think Sean is in the back as well.
My man
I
got
met
Sean.
You guys the first
Mr.
night.
Branch in the building.
And like I said, your movie's next. His movie's next.
Did y'all
Like,
hear what happened?
We're gonna really do that.
We
Like,
got next.
So when I
No,
say
we're gonna
God
really
is
do that.
amazing, though, I don't be playing no games. But I will say this while I'm on live on this camera. I've not known Dirk all my life, but I feel like I've known Dirk all my life. And everything about him is black excellence. Everything, how he rocks, the hospitality, just a solid dude. So my love is always going to be for that guy right there. I'm rocking 100,000%. all the way 100%. So and I love Vibe Brand. That's an extra.
That's
so
right.
I'm gonna say
Absolutely.
this. We got to get ready to get to our next guest. Thank you for everybody that's in the building. We got a beautiful audience tonight. Y'all get up for yourselves. Spotlight.
Y'all ready to rock out
Are
with
y'all ready for the closer?
Edward Martin Jr.,
y'all
our
ready?
favorite saxophonist?
Are you ready?
I'm ready,
You looking
baby.
sexy and cute too, though.
Oh,
You
shucks,
made me want to rub on you, do something.
Please rub on me.
We'll be
Justin
right back
is
after-
mad at us because we went over time.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
We'll be right
I
back
brought
after
you a
the
hat
commercial
tonight.
break, and we'll have our clothes in the building. Spotlight over the city.
Woo!